Welcome to Women Investing in Women. Every week, Robin and I talk to amazing women of various generations so that we can learn from each woman, young and old, take the lessons from their life journey, pass it on to others. There we can build a community of one another. Robin and I were just talking before we started the recording. But the truth of the matter is women invest and help in women socially, but professionally, because there is such a shortage of opportunities for women, there is that scarcity that seeps in. So our goal here is through these conversations, remind each of us, ourselves, and the women around the world that we truly thrive only when we embrace a sense of abundance. And how do we take our social capability of supporting one another and lifting one another and bring that into our professional realm so that from a holistic life perspective, we are able to do that and succeed. So to have this conversation with us today is a young professional, Ishani Pathak, joining us from Denver, Colorado. Ishani, welcome to the conversation.
Thank you.
I want to give a brief introduction of how I met Ishani and how all of this came about, because that'll give you a short window into what she is going to be talking about. I have a young student whose parents are from Sri Lanka. And my husband and I had been host family for them, supportive American family for Michael. And when Michael met and fell in love with Ishani, so I intimately know Ishani's journey, but what is fascinating to me and inspiring to me is that Ishani's story is the story of every young immigrant girl who comes in with her parents, or the woman who comes in as a young professional to then groom her family, lift her family, and help the family assimilate. Normally, parents invest in the children, but in an immigrant situation, it's the children who invest in the parents to help the parents make that transition. So to jump into this conversation, Ishani, give us a little bit of background about how it was for you to be born and raised in India, in Gujarat, and then come to the United States with your parents, and then all of a sudden become that young person who has to be aware, who has to be responsible to help and facilitate your parents' transition into a Western world.
Yeah. Thank you for introducing me, Auntie. That was amazing. I think I was, so I grew up and I was born and grew up in India and Gujarat. I finished my high school in Gujarat, and then after that, we had our file open up, which is like immigration side of it. Our whole family decided to come here. So it was really quick for me because I was in my 12th grade. And for 12th grade for us, it's like a national exam in India. So it is really exciting for every student. We usually plan vacation with friends and everything. And as soon as I finished my last exam, which is my last test for 12th grade, we were leaving from India the next day. So it was like really heartbreaking for me to not having time with my friends, not having like free vacations and whatnot. And I never wanted to come to US because I think I never thought about it basically. Initially, I never thought about going out of my country and then learning new culture. So it was hard. That like I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave my friends here. I don't want to leave my house. And I was like really happy with this small town happiness. So. But then we came here, my mom's family, they've been here for a long time. And that's why we came through them. And after that, my mom doesn't know English. So it was just me, my brother, dad who knew English to just like survive and communicate with people here. That comes all along throughout the years. It's been 10 years now, me being here with my parents are also here for 10 years. So definitely it's a different culture with learning from scratch to here in a different perspective. So since we are talking about supporting women, I think for me, that time was most important that how do I support a mother who doesn't know a language in a whole different country? She doesn't know anyone. So how do I do that? Do I just go and tell people, oh, she doesn't know, don't talk to her? Or do I let her talk and then explain to people? So to me, it was really important for her to understand what they are saying and how she's communicating with people over here. It is important for her also because she always gets really nervous. People who don't know language, they always get nervous and they don't like to talk about that, and they cannot communicate, which is really hurtful feeling. And I don't like that feeling for her to like always going out there and not having support and thinking, okay, I'm the only person who know this and nobody value me and nobody cares about me. And that comes really easily if you do not keep her with you. So I had to hold her hand, take her everywhere, in grocery stores and everywhere, like basically from grocery stores to DMV to everywhere. Every initial and important stuff that we do in US, from license to ID to everything, somebody has to be with her. So I thought it's not gonna be the end of the world, that I'm not losing anything, and I'm also learning at the same time. For me, well, another fun fact is I'd never spoken in English before, so it was kind of a task for me as well to understand the phrases, the slang, and the different sentences, how people put it out there, how people work in college and school. So I was learning with teaching my mom also how to communicate. So that was an interesting phase, and now it's all good, but she still feel uncomfortable in public because she cannot, like, she understands a little bit, but she cannot really talk.
Wow, that is so amazing. And I can relate. I've lived in a foreign country before as a young person in my 20s. And what you learn in school, gets you through maybe the first couple of days.
Yes.
And then people are talking so fast. It's like, it's hard. So I can absolutely relate to what you're saying. And I wasn't having to then explain to someone else. So my question is, being a mother of daughters, how did you navigate the emotional challenges of now you being in the role of the guide, yet her as your mother and loving you, and regardless of what culture you're in, she wants to share her wisdom. She cares for you, wants your life to be wonderful. So how did you navigate where out in public you were navigating the language, but yet when you were off of that stage, so to speak, she could then become the mother in loving on you and giving you wisdom and guidance? And I'm a hover mother. Once a hover mother, always a hover mother. So how did you navigate that?
I think it was I didn't have to plan it. That was the thing. I was not like thinking, okay, how do I go in public with my mother, and like, how do I introduce her to people? It was just like, it came naturally, because like if another person who is present with you who doesn't know any language, so emotionally it was hard for her. And that was, I was always keep thinking in my mind, as you said, when you go to a different country and people are talking and you feel like, I do understand a little bit, but they're talking so fast, so I don't know what they're talking. So that is exactly why that I feel like navigating the communication with people through mom was not too bad, because whenever I'm taking her, if she needs to tell people, then she will tell me first that, oh, I want to talk about this. Can you explain that to them, what I'm telling? So mostly she would not talk. I'm the person who's basically her translator, that talk person, that I'm going to present whatever she's asking, whatever she wants to know. Even in grocery store, if she usually don't go alone, so that is why she was probably pick things, but she would not talk to anyone. So it was not too hard, but thinking about like, if she can, what if she's alone and nobody's around her, like from my family, what would she do? That is kind of like a hard feeling that I usually used to get, that, okay, I don't know how she's gonna navigate. I don't know how she's gonna be in the society without any communication skills. So now that throughout the years, we try to taught her that maybe learn a few words. People are understanding. People get that, okay, you cannot speak, then we will just communicate with hands, or maybe some small words that they're gonna pick up and they will understand, oh, this is what you're talking about. So teaching her a little bit, that was the key. But I wish that she could learn more than just few words. She's 56 years old, and I think her mind slowed down a lot, that, okay, a new language, how do I do it? So sometimes she goes really blind, that I don't think so I can do that. I don't think so. She like a kid. She goes like a kid, that I don't think so I'll be able to do that. So bringing her up, like, yes, you can do it. You will be able to talk. My husband only talks in English with my family, because he doesn't know our maiden language. So he talks to her in English all the time, like picking up small words, telling her that, oh, you can talk like this in a small perspectives of communications. So that's how she is basically understanding quite a bit, but at the same time, she's still not there to like, okay, I picked up, I can go outside and talk to people. So she cannot travel from here to India alone, otherwise she would cry. So that was kind of hard, but at the same time, to make her learn something, as our parents used to do with us when we were kids. If we fall, they let us fall, because that's where we're gonna get up. But when we get up, they are there and hold our hand and teach us how to do this right, how to not fall every time, how to walk properly. That's exactly what I feel like I've been doing with my mom, that, okay, if she's not able to talk, let me let her go in the grocery by herself. Let me see how she communicates. So when she's alone, she have to communicate something at this point. So that's what I'm trying to do, but she gets like really nervous.
And I totally hear all of that, Ishani, because I too am an immigrant and I know the feeling.
Yeah.
What's interesting to me is you've taken this nurturing and caring and helping your mom transition. You've taken the skills you have honed in that perspective and translated that into a budding career. You have been an advisor to international students. You're an advisor an admissions counselor at a university in Colorado, in the Denver area. Talk to us about the transferable skills and the human empathy you've been able to develop because of this experience, and how is it helping you allow other people, facilitate other people's transition?
Yeah, I think that the key is from insights. Whatever we learn, it's always from inside, what we have gone through, what we have learned personally, from family, from friends, from since we were kids and in the school. So I think the being with mom and trying for her to be a translator, how to understand properly what she's saying, how to understand what she's feeling also. That is the most important thing that I have learned. And every time when I'm with my students, especially when I work with international students for 3.5 years. So that makes me more stronger in being a communicator with different people around the world. And being a great listener, first of all, that was like the most important thing that I have learned in every job. You just need to be a good listener to come up with something and talk to someone about what they need. I think that is exactly what I always tell myself, that patience is the key and listening is the key. If I'm gonna lose my patience with people who doesn't really know what I'm talking about, what my language is, then it's not gonna helpful. I'm not gonna be helpful to anyone in this world. And every time I go back, like, think about your mom also. What if somebody behave like that, the exact way, or no, a person who is really impatient, annoyed by people who doesn't know language? What if that person behaves same way to your mom? How would you feel? So I think that the whole thing of me being with my mom and gathering patience, gathering listening skills, gathering all the sources that I can find by myself to provide her, help me with my each and every job that I have done. And it doesn't matter if it's domestic or international settings. It's always worked the same way for everyone, because every humans are basically same in every country, right? It's just like a different personalities with different countries and different things. So especially I feel like patience for me, I learned from the international office a lot more, because I have people from everywhere. People from Middle East, from China, from Japan, from Korea, from India. So people from India would be really easy for me because I'm an Indian and I can communicate with them. But what about the people I don't know their language of? People from Japan, I don't know them how they speak. They have different accents. They have different way of approaching people. So to me, listening to them and helping them was my key. And it's my job to like, okay, I'm going to provide them the best source I have. But for that, I need to listen to them, the way they approach, the way they communicate. So I think that's the whole thing I learned from my experiences back in home.
That's beautiful. I love the human aspect that regardless of the cultures can be different, there is still some common element of humanity that reaches all of us. We usually ask people, what have been some of the challenges you run into? Well, your challenges are very apparent. So I'm going to kind of do a little different twist on this interview. What are some of the things, like maybe like getting into college or getting into your job or doing your job? What have been some of the positive, unexpected things, like happy, little raindrop from heaven, that something good that happened to you that you weren't expecting?
I think help people are, wherever I have been, people have been really good to me. And that was blessing. I believe that never happened. I don't know if it always happened to everyone, but to me, I got good people around me all the time. If So from school to my professional career to everywhere. Another good thing is learned how to talk to people in English properly. If I don't understand anything, I learned to ask. That was the thing. And when I asked, people were not like basically saying, I don't think so, I can answer that question. People always there to like help and then answer those questions if I'm not understanding something, especially like in language wise. I still learn. At this point, I still learn sometimes. So like, what does that mean? Because I really don't have, never heard those things before. And there were multiple things that I might probably not have heard even till this date. So I think people has been blessing to me. And that make me more comfortable when I talk and when I ask questions, they are answering those questions back to me. And I think that's how I found my way always. And I'm blessed that I know a little bit English. That was the thing. So
That
yeah.
is beautiful. That is beautiful, Ishani. And what comes through, and I know this from experience too, people receive who we are and they reflect who we are when they're with us, right? So the fact that you come to every situation with that open heart, open mind, and the ability to listen, and not being afraid to say that, you know what, I don't know, I don't understand. Can you help me?
Yes.
Those are inviting, those are opening doors. That is ego free, that is arrogance free. So
Yeah.
your ability to invite people in and let them in is why you are receiving all the support and help. So the advice that this conversation is sharing to others is, you know, what ultimately we are consumed by ends up consuming us. So if
Yes.
I am consumed by listening and understanding, then that listening and understanding and empathy will surround me and consume me, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yes.
that's what I'm hearing. And that makes me very, very happy
Yeah.
because that's what we want all of us to be able to do. So as you think about your journey and the distance you have come in such a short time, what have you learned about yourself that you would never have known had you not made this journey and transition into a new country, into a new culture?
I think I learned that I feel personally, confidently that in any situation, if I'm put into, I'll be fine. I'll be fine with anyone in this world, even though I don't know their language or I don't know what they're talking about, how to approach them. I will always come up with my sense of idea that like it's fine. Nothing is bad approaching from my side first. Even though those people are not approaching to me, I will love to go ahead and approach from my side. That's what I can confidently say, that I would not be afraid of any situation I might probably put into or been asked to, because I think somehow inside me will be answers. Like somehow inside me there is answer, and I know I'm just not really approaching that answer at all the time. But in that situation, I'm pretty sure I will know myself that okay, I know this answer, and I'm going to tell them this is what it is. This is who I am, and this is how I would love to approach you so that I can help you and you can help me as well. Because I think in this world, we always feel shy for asking help, and we always think that we are there to help everyone. Basically, we are not. We are someone also who need help from different people. And to get help, we need to ask. That's what I learned from my Cass auntie as well. So she always tell, if you need something, you need to ask. And I think that is so true because I was not like that. I was always afraid of like, what if they think about me in a different way? What if they think that, oh, this girl always need help. This girl is always asking something. But and then I was like, maybe not. Maybe they are not even thinking anything. I'm just overthinking something which is not even exist. So
Yeah.
so I,
Those are great lessons. That's really awesome. You know, as we kind of wrap this down, and I absolutely will have to have you on again because there's so many things to talk about. But is there like one or two quick nuggets that you would share, little gems of wisdom for the people who will listen to this broadcast later as we bring this to a close?
that would be, I would say, ask. That's the thing. That's what I talk about a lot in this conversation, the whole conversation we had. We as a woman, we always get afraid of asking and getting help, but that is not a very accurate approach to anyone. We have to ask and we have to support each other. Otherwise, we will not gonna be anywhere. And all those powerful women that we know in this world, they have done that, the same thing. They have asked, they have bring their own, whatever they have learned, bring that into the world. And now they are the biggest women in this world and they empower women. Again, I would just say that because I know Kasturi auntie for a little bit, and that's what I have learned from her as well. And she's one of the powerful women I know throughout the years, that she always did tell people, ask and be supportive, but to get support is also important. So yeah, ask, listen, and be patient. Patience is also a key for everything that we do.
Beautifully said, Ishani. So proud of you. So happy to see you have made this journey in short 10 years. It is not easy. There are people who live in a society that they were born and raised in and who are terrified to ask, right? And what I am seeing in you and hearing from you, and what I would like to amplify, is asking for help is a courageous move. To know what I don't know, to know what I need help with, and reach out and ask for it is courageous. Have the courage to value you and seek the help. And when you ask for help, you're giving other people permission to seek your help. It's one of those two-way streets. As we bring to the close this conversation, that is the nugget of wisdom I would like for all of us to take into the rest of the day and rest of the week. Be patient. Listen. Paul Tillich says this beautifully. The first act of love is to listen. When we love ourselves, we listen to ourselves, our body, our thoughts, our feelings. When we love the humanity around us, we stop and we listen, not to answer, but to understand. And with patience, when we approach the listening, the entire universe falls into place. So as you go through your day, you go through your life for the rest of the week, the rest of the months, remember to be patient, starting with yourself towards everybody else. Listen and allow the universe to completely fall into place so that your life becomes rich, happy, and meaningful.